Have you ever considered that what might be holding you back from achieving your dreams isn't external circumstances, but something deeply embedded in your own mind? Sounds strange? I'm going to talk that through today and explain exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're ready to stop living a life defined by invisible limitations and step into the freedom available to you, keep watching. So what I'm talking about is our beliefs, our limiting beliefs. So a limiting belief is anything which holds you back from achieving your potential. And it could be something you're consciously aware of, but often it is something in the unconscious which you're not working with because it's not in your awareness. Some examples might be, I'm not good enough. Maybe you've got an opportunity to apply for a new job and you're holding yourself back because you're telling yourself you're not good enough. It could be something like, you think you're never going to find love. Or it could be a belief, for instance, around money. So you might have negative beliefs around money which prevent you from making money and becoming wealthy, or even just having plenty of money. So all of these are based on beliefs. And the good news is that beliefs absolutely can be changed. So if you think about it, some people believe the world is round and some people believe the world is flat. But those people both live on the same planet. So literally it is just a belief, and what is true to them is true to them, but probably only one of them is right. Okay, so let's think about the example of I'm not good enough to apply for a job. So there's a job opportunity come up, you've seen it, you know you can do the job, you want to apply, but something is holding you back. Could it be a limiting belief? Maybe you're imagining that the person interviewing telling you that you haven't got the job. Maybe you're jumping ahead in your mind to a negative outcome. This is an image that we can work with. So you could literally take that image and change it into an image or a scene where that person interviewing is telling you and congratulating you that you did get the job. So we need to be aware of images in our mind and the way that we envisage the future. However, it could just be that you're telling yourself, it could be a voice within your own mind telling you that you're not good enough, or maybe you've got in mind somebody else who you think might apply for the job, who you think might get it. The point is that until we actually take the step to change the belief, we're going to be stuck with it. So firstly, be aware of the belief, examine it, see if you can change it into something else, and then take an action towards changing what you believe. So in this example, very simply, rather than telling yourself you might not get the job, you need to actually put your application in. Get your CV together, put the application in, wait and see what happens. That is actually testing out whether what you believe is true, rather than just sitting with it and mulling over it and imagining the outcome, which obviously you can't completely know until you actually take that step. With the example of money that I gave, this one is a really interesting one because money is quite a taboo subject. It's not something that's usually openly talked about, and it's usually deeply ingrained in our upbringing and previous experiences and people we surround ourselves with. So if you're always around people who don't have enough money, that is going to make quite a deep imprint on you, and you're probably going to find yourself in a similar situation. It's going to be quite hard then to step out and start making money. Maybe you're going to be under judgment from those people. Maybe you won't be part of the group anymore. Maybe you'll feel like you don't belong. So there's many reasons that could be holding you back from actually making money, which could be something you're naturally gifted at, or just something you're capable of. So a lot of people have a belief that money is evil. Of course, money can be used for bad purposes, but it equally can be used for good purposes. And it really depends on whose hands the money falls into. So somebody with good intentions is going to use money for good purposes, whereas somebody with bad intentions is going to use it for bad. And this is the difference. So there's absolutely no reason why a good person shouldn't have plenty of money or become wealthy. Again, it's just a belief. You can change your beliefs. So if that's something that interests you, maybe have a think about what is holding you back from making money, and if it could just be based on beliefs. Beliefs can absolutely be changed, and there's a number of ways that you can do that. So as we mentioned earlier, the first thing is to identify them, identify that they are limiting you, and decide to make a change and try something different. You can use affirmations to make a change. So if you are telling yourself you're not good enough, the way to work with affirmations could be, for example, instead of saying I'm not good enough, you could change that to I am good enough, or I am good enough for this job, for example. And then maybe one way I've worked with them in the past is actually to look at myself in the mirror every morning and say that affirmation, I am good enough, 10 times, or however many times feels comfortable to you. Say it to yourself in the mirror 10 times, and then repeat that for a number of days. So let's say, for example, you do it 10 times for 10 days. But again, you could do, if it's a deeply ingrained belief, you might need to do it for longer. You might want to repeat it more than 10 times. I find a method which is very effective is actually to write it down. So I might take that changed belief, write it down 10 times every morning for 10 days. And the benefit there, I think, is that it actually engages all the senses. So you're using your eyes, you're using your hands, you're reading it, you're thinking about it. So that kind of embeds it even more deeply because of the different ways that you're engaging with that new belief. Another positive action you can take is to surround yourself with people who do believe in you. So if you have a belief that you're not good enough, it's very likely that you have had a significant relationship where somebody has told you you're not good enough, either with a caregiver, a parent, or maybe a romantic relationship or a friendship. And maybe when you start looking at this, you might see that there's a pattern there, that you do tend to have quite negative people in your life. So to make a change, again, this needs to be very conscious because we tend to fall into the same patterns. Make a conscious choice to surround yourself with people who are positive and believe in you and build you up. This might feel uncomfortable at first. It's not unusual for people to find it hard to take a compliment if they're not used to it. But this is all going to contribute to changing our beliefs and to achieving our potential. Another thing you can do is to notice, celebrate when you see a change, when you notice a shift. This is and can be a continuous process. So once you've changed one thing, you might get the taste of it and want to keep changing and keep growing and keep evolving. So see it as a continuous path of change, and it can become quite fun once you see that you can change your beliefs. It can, I know for me, like I've changed beliefs that I've had and I've been amazed. It was that simple. And I didn't know that I could achieve that just by thinking about my underlying beliefs and changing them to something else. So if this resonates with you, just have a go, just have a think about what you're holding yourself back from. Or you might want to look at things where you feel like external circumstances are holding you back. But when you really dig into that, when you look at it really closely, can you identify where the root of that actually lies with yourself? So have a think about that today and see if you can come up with something. Use the affirmations, take some steps to make a change, and see what happens.